Hello, everyone. Welcome back, winners. My name is Michael, and welcome to episode 21 of The Outside Bet. Normally, I'm excited celebrating the week we've just had, but there wasn't really anything we could bet on all week, so we haven't had a podcast. Never mind. We are about to have the weekend, and that's what everyone comes here for, and that's what everyone gets excited for, including me. Come on. We've got a Premier League bet in today's episode, which I know you all like, but we can't force it. But there is one in tomorrow's slate. So please like and subscribe and comment on the YouTube video. Leave us a 5-star review if you're listening to the podcast. It really helps the channel grow, and without it, we can't build our numbers up. We're back on a Friday. The Premier League action and everything kicks off tomorrow. There are leagues playing tonight. We don't have any bets in it, which is why we didn't do a video yesterday. We know Friday's your favourite, and so what we decided to do, because of the feedback we've had from last week's Friday episode, is on Fridays we're going to do a game-by-game preview of the Premier League. As ever, we don't do what other shows do. There's plenty of content out there if you want to preview signings, players, how teams will play, lineups. We look strictly at the numbers. We look at the numbers that we have for each game. We look at the numbers how that divides up between the two teams, so we get a supremacy number, and then we try and apply some of that to the betting markets for you. Remember, the leans, the way we actually lean on every single market, on every single bet, that goes out to the top tier of the patrons. The scores, the actual thing I'm working off on the Premier League is here, but the scores are predictions, the total number of goals, the exact breakdown of how we think the goals will be divvied out, the share of goals, the goal scoring, and our correct score predictions all go out to the lowest tier of patrons. But we'll read through one of them today, the Premier League, because that's of interest to you all. This is the Friday weekend before Christmas, so everyone's super excited about Christmas, but we also know what Christmas means. It means a lot of football for us to talk about and get excited about. As ever, we will cover all the football with our daily podcast. Straighten up the old hat there, I think. As ever, we will cover up all the free hat from the above average FPL boys, so thanks very much, boys. I'm a patron of theirs, and if any of you play FPL, join us on Discord for a chat, and also improve your FPL performance by listening to boys like that talk about it. You've got to do better than me anyway. Sunday and Monday, there's some games, there are some bets, but we will cover those in podcast tomorrow, as long as there's still value, and Sunday, as long as there's still value for Monday, as always. The big free bets for YouTube, there's one per video, as you know, and there will be one at the end of this video. If you listen carefully as I go through the Premier League things, you might actually pick up another couple of bets, because there are two on one game, and one of them is the game we're picking. So without much further ado, let's have a quick look at how the Premier League works out. I have the sheet in front of me. I have to glance down a bit. I don't normally like to read on the podcast, but don't want to get things wrong. And if we start at the top, these are in alphabetical by time. There's a lot of games this weekend, so there are a lot of 3 o'clock kickoffs, which is very unusual for the Premier League these days. And the first game is the 12:30 game, which is Newcastle versus Chelsea. We've got 2.8 goals total for that. And we've got Newcastle with a supremacy of nearly a whole goal. If you can find some value betting against the bookies with our numbers, you go ahead. As ever, the leans have gone out already. It goes to say that a lot of bookies will over-favour Chelsea here. Newcastle are really strong at home. They've got defensive problems for sure, but the boy Miley looks like he can play it right back, and they're almost unplayable at home. I mean, if you look at Bruno Guimaraes' record versus the away team, it's just a different level. And so I would say that if you're doing your bet builders, you're doing anything else, then you can pick some bits up on Newcastle. You can get some value. Quickly skimming through some of the others, Wolves Brentford, we've got it as a low scoring game, probably a couple of goals, probably 1-1 draw. West Ham Man City, we've got as a very high scoring game, much higher than the bookies. We've got 4.6 goals. We've got it as about a 3.8 to a 0.78 in favour of City. And there's lots of opportunities on those markets. Get involved. That's probably going to be a lot of people's 3 o'clock game if they're using dodgy methods for connecting to live football. Not that we condone that in the UK here. If you're around the rest of the world, you can choose your game and watch whichever one you want. We've got a strong lean into Brighton. We've got them at 2.24 over 0.68 supremacy over Sunderland. Sunderland aren't that good. They're good at home, and they're slightly fading away from home. And we've got a lot of goals in the Bournemouth game, a lot more than the bookies think. There's value there if you want a little lean up. We've got it at 3.8 goals. I think most of the bookies are, 2.75 maybe? That's nearly a whole goal or a whole goal in some cases. So have a look and explore that. We've got Bournemouth winning that by 2 clear goals. Again, Burnley, terrible, absolutely terrible side away from home against established players like Bournemouth having had a week off. I mean, come off it. Tottenham Liverpool could go anyway. What do you want for that? 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 1-2? I mean, we've got 2.7 goals for the game split fairly evenly. I wouldn't go anywhere near that with the betting market. If we look at Leeds Palace, what have we got? We've got a lean into the overs, a pretty good tip on the overs. We've got 3.3 goals. Leeds are very strong at home, and Palace have played on Thursday night with their kids, and they're playing on Tuesday night against Arsenal. I don't really know what Crystal Palace can do here. The league's absolutely screwed them by making them play all these games so close together. They don't get protection because they're not one of the big clubs. We all know how it works. I think that Leeds could end up winning this game 2-1. I mean, we've got 1.99 to Leeds, 1.27 to Palace. What's that, 3/4 of a goal? See if you can find some advantage there in the markets. Have a look at some of the Asian handicap lines, maybe first half lines. Leeds will start that strong. Big game in the evening. I mean, Everton Arsenal. It's at Everton, so do not be messing around. They'll be strong there. We've got 2.3 goals shared, marginally 1.3 to 1 in favour of Arsenal. Could be any which way this. It could be 1-1, it could be 2-1 to Arsenal, it could even be 2-0 because Arsenal's defence is amazing. Now, Arsenal's defence has let in a couple of goals now, one every week, and the FPL boys, according to my hat, are all over Arsenal letting in goals. If you look at the underlying data, they're hardly letting in any chances. I mean, absolutely gilt-edged. I would say that the most likely result here is that Everton to nil. So pick an Arsenal score, maybe 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, because they're away from home and not in good form, and just say that Everton aren't going to score. We've got no bet for us on anything like that. Moving on to Sunday, just to give you a quick fill-in on the preview. I mean, it's not really for this podcast because we haven't got any value yet. We haven't seen it. But Villa, Man United, we've got as being extremely high scoring. I mean, Villa's run is sensational, isn't it? They keep scoring. They're shooting from outside the box, which goes against modern coaching parlances, but means us fans just love them. We've got 3.8 goals in the game. Man United are so attacking, but they are the worst at defending. We've got it divided by 2.2 all, as a 2-all at 3.8. But that is actually, if you look at the underlying data, we've got 2.16 to Villa, 1.68 to United. And that sounds a lot more realistic because for me, if I was going to divide 4 goals out between those two teams, I'd go 3-1 to Villa because I just can't see how Man U defend against them. But Man U are on a good run of form, and so the game is a bit of a potential banana skin for Villa. But if I had to pick a goal scorer or look at a bet builder, I'd go Morgan Rogers goal or assist, Villa to win the game, and both teams to score. Fulham, Forest, we've got a lean into Fulham. We've got them to supremacy of 0.7 on a 2.9 goal game. You might be able to get some people saying that should be a 1-1 draw. And if you do, then you can get a handicap advantage on Fulham. They're a home team in London the week before Christmas under the lights. I fancy it's either going to be a draw or a Fulham win. So if you can get Fulham at 0 or Fulham at +0.5, have a look at those on the markets. And that's enough, really, because we don't want to take up people's time the week before. So if we look at the time, it's 8 minutes 30, which is our favourite time to bring in all the people who jump straight to the big bet. And so here we are. Welcome for the big bet. We've got a big bet incoming. And if you've just jumped to this bit of the video, please like, please subscribe, and please comment on the YouTube video. It massively helps us out. And if you're just tapping us up for one free big bet every podcast, there's nothing wrong with that, but just do us a favour of liking and commenting in the YouTube video. Leave us a 5-star review of listening to the audio version of the podcast. And here's your big bet. And we are back in the Premier League, which I know you all absolutely love. And we need to keep our run going on the free bets, and we need to keep our run going on the Premier League, because both of them have been extremely fruitful this year. The WhatsApp members have already got all of the big bets, but we need to give you a free bet. And let's head to the Ethiad and to Manchester City versus West Ham. Remember, if you click the bell icon, you'll know when we put out a new video, and that's when you can get the most value on the bet, because the price always moves against us, not because of the size of our following, but because our bets are most likely in line with where the bookies will end up at kickoff. And so every minute from this video to kickoff, the value will degrade on our bets, almost certainly. And we are going Man City supremacy in the home match against West Ham. They are just scoring for fun, Man City, and West Ham are awful. We can get Man City supremacy of 2 goals exactly. That's 2.0 goals on the Asian supremacy market. It's the Asian handicap market, as it's known. And if you can get evens on that, Remember, 2.0 is a difficult concept for some handicap bettors to bet on. It means that if Man City win by 2 goals exactly, you get your stake back, or a push, as they say in America. But 3 goals or more for this victory, any 3 goal win means you win the bet. And we have supremacy of City for 3.03 on this game, which is a whole goal of value, as we always look for, because 2 goals is evens, and that's a whole goal of value, and that's what determines the bet for us. We actually have 4.6 goals for the game, and we split that 3.81 to City, 0.78 to West Ham, and that's how you get the 3.03 supremacy. So for your bet builders out there and your ACCA makers, there's great value across the book here. Over goals, first half goals, shots on target. Remember, there's lots of value everywhere you look at this game now because of the goals and the lead the City have got in the sharing out of those goals. So remember, if you listen to the whole pod, there was actually 3 big bets in the Premier League on Saturday that we've given out to our members. And if you go back through how I built up and previewed those games, I think you'll get all 3 of them. But it could well be that 2 of them were in this game. As a little teaser. And there's the Saturday night game, which isn't a bet for us, which is Everton Arsenal. And then there's Sunday and Monday, which we may have podcasts for tomorrow and Sunday for you. So keep an eye out. And we will always do a podcast when there's a free big bet to give out to you guys. So please come back soon. And all that remains to be said, as ever, is goodbye, good luck, be safe, everyone, and be nice to each other, please. I love you lots, and we will catch you on the next pod.